It's cold. It's cold in Texas, y'all. It's cold. It's probably colder somewhere else. But look, I'm from Arizona, so this is like super, and I mean super cold to me. All right. But yeah, I hope y'all are doing absolutely amazing. I'm sorry for the contrast and brightness kind of like going whack. I don't know why it's doing that, but it's okay. I needed to do this video, kind of update y'all on some stuff here and there, because I know it's been a while, and that's even for like TikTok, that's for my streaming, everything. It's been a while, and I know y'all are tired of the empty promises, this and that, but I mean, I'm glad for myself, but hopefully y'all would be grateful to know that, you know, in this recent time that I've been going through, I won't go into too much detail with it, but just know that I have actually gotten so much closer, so much, like, that's probably an understatement. Like, I have gotten so much closer to God, and I am so thankful, because honestly, when you achieve this level of like relationship with God, and I don't want to try to like push my beliefs on everybody, but I feel like it'd be great for everybody to just try to have that relationship with him, because when I tell you that it makes all the difference, like, I'm not joking, okay? Like, it really does. And in recent time, I have had so many prayers answered, and this year in general, it hasn't really been a bad year, but it has definitely had its major ups and downs, you know, and of course life is always going to have its ups and downs. But in that time, like I said, I've been able to get closer to God. I've been able to actually achieve this level of peace that I honestly didn't know existed. Like, it feels wonderful. And, you know, you're still gonna have those times of like, well, you know, it's getting rough, I don't know if I can do this, you know, stuff like that. You're always gonna have those moments. The biggest thing is, and I've learned this recently, because I used to be very bad with this, even if it's a small little thing, I would let that ruin my entire mood. I would let it ruin my entire day, everything, right? And you know, in recent time, I'm still working on it, you know, obviously I'm not perfect, but it has definitely changed a lot, and I'm seeing the differences in, you know, doing that, you know, like just calling to God and asking for help. And it's like, you know, you have to realize that sometimes, I mean, because in general, right, it's like a lot of people don't like asking others for help, right? It's like, it's one of those things where we feel too prideful, you know, and let's just be honest, sometimes our egos get in the way, you know, and to call on to God, you have to put that pride, you have to put that ego all aside. Doesn't exist anymore. Doesn't. So, you know, but that's my biggest thing is, you know, like I said, I don't want to force, you know, y'all to, I don't want to seem like I'm forcing y'all to be like, call to God, but I promise you, if you don't already follow God, believe in him, whatever the case may be, I promise you it makes all the difference, okay? Because I mean, I've believed in God all my life, I have, but I can honestly say that I didn't really follow him, you know. And another thing is, oh, there was a kitty on the road. Anyways, I'm sorry. I just got a little sad. Anyways, there's this disconnect where people feel the need. I feel like the biggest thing is, and what throws people off when people are trying to get others to follow God and call on to him and stuff like that is they make it sound like you need to be perfect. And I can tell you right now, that is not the case, okay? Nobody's perfect. It doesn't matter if you follow God wholeheartedly, nothing, all right? It literally doesn't matter. Nobody's perfect. And you are honestly not made to be perfect. Nobody is made to be perfect, ever. You know, and that's the thing. That's why it's like, that's why we call on to God. That's why Jesus sacrificed himself, okay? Because we are sinners, regardless of what we do. And that's the thing. We just have to call on to God and, you know, try to have that willpower. We got to ask him for that strength, though, because without him, it's not possible. I can tell you that right now. You know, to call on to him and to help him change that in us, you know. But anyways, aside from that, another change that I kind of want to make is, and see, a lot of y'all probably clicked off by now, but that's fine. The real ones are gonna stay. So I've been writing in this journal, and I found out, you know, that writing things down actually helps me achieve it. It's just it's something in the brain that like just kind of tells me like, okay, now I gotta do this. Like I wrote this down, it's engraved in my brain, and it really helps. Like I don't know if that's happened to other people, you know. I don't know. To me, I'm like, it seems kind of weird that me writing something down helps me achieve it, but at the same time, if it helps, it helps, because I'm very terrible at procrastinating. Y'all know this firsthand. But yeah, so what I'm gonna start doing is 3 times a week, okay? That 3 times a week, I want to start doing cruising videos or vlogs. It doesn't matter which. I mean, I guess either way they're kind of the same thing, but either way, 3 times a week I want to do just like a random video. I'll be cruising, we can just chill, vibe out, whatever the case may be, and just vibe. You know, some of those days I might, you know, just kind of take you in the day of the life of me, or whatever the case may be. You know, I've been getting back into working out again, so, you know, maybe I'll show y'all a routine or something like that. You know, we'll walk the mountain, I don't know. But either way, I want to do 3 times a week minimum for my YouTube content, and then I at least want to upload 1 short, like those shorts, the YouTube shorts or whatever. I want to at least do that once a week minimum, of once again, and that'll kind of pertain to, of course, like the things I used to do, where it was like inspirational, motivational, you know, just random comedy content, whatever the case may be. Honestly, how a lot of people found me in the first place. But yeah, so I want to start doing that. I want to start getting on a schedule with that, because like I said, that's the thing, man. It's like, I know that I have a purpose in this world, and that purpose is to help bring joy to others. It's to, you know, kind of help people get out of that box that they feel stuck in, to let them know that it is very possible to do literally anything you put your mind to. And you know, I called on to God. I keep asking him for answers, for help, because I really, you know, I've been in, like I said, I've been in this weird phase where I've been trying so many different things, and I've been trying to find out ways things can work and stuff like that. And, you know, the whole time, all I had to do was ask God, like, please help me find something. Like, I just need something to know what my not only what my calling is, but like I need help to find, because that motivation, it's in and out, you know, it really is. Motivation only exists when it's there. And that's the thing. You're not always going to be motivated. You're not always going to have that inspiration to do what you need to do. The biggest thing is, once again, and I'm not sorry for saying it so much, like I'm really not, is to call on to God and ask him for help, especially when you need it most. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to focus on this. This turns very weird, so I gotta be careful. But yeah, asking God for help, putting your pride aside, putting your ego aside, it doesn't exist any longer. And like I said, it brings you this sense of peace, man. Even though I've been super exhausted, like I said, you know, that's kind of played a factor in the stuff I haven't done. Of course, it's not an excuse, you know, but it's like, even with that exhaustion, like I have felt at peace for once in my life, and it feels very, very good. I absolutely love it. You know, the way I was feeling a long time ago, I wouldn't wish those thoughts on anybody, man. Like, not even my worst enemy. I was in such a dark place. I really was. And like I said, I believed in God, but to say I followed him, I really didn't until recently. Like, these things have been changing in me. And yeah, you know, I don't know. But yeah, I just want y'all to know that I am okay. I'm doing well. Like I said, I've just been exhausted. I've been trying to find out things. I've been writing in my journal again. Just trying to figure things out. And I thank God every day for helping me actually, like, have a calm enough mind to finally kind of piece everything together, because I would say that's another reason why I haven't been able, you know, like I said earlier, I've been just trying to do like so many different things and just kind of like throwing it all together and hoping for the best and, you know, this and that. And in reality, it's like I couldn't really focus on one thing or what I needed to do or how I needed to do it. You know, until I achieve that peace. You know, you need to be able to achieve that peace, have a calmed mind to be able to actually sit down and kind of just backtrack a little bit. Sometimes you have to backtrack to a point where you're like, okay, I need to lay this all out. We need a plan, this and that. And that's another thing. Walking by faith and not sight, because that is one of the biggest things that I've had to learn, is to walk by faith and not sight. You know, it's in reality, and this is gonna sound brutal, but it's just true. In reality, it doesn't matter how hard you try. It doesn't matter how hard you work to get it. And it doesn't matter the plan you have laid out. If it's set out to happen for you, it's going to happen regardless. And like I said, that sounds brutal, because I know there's a lot of us, even me included, that work so hard trying to make something work. And we're like, why are we putting in all this effort, all this work? We are making ourselves tired. We are making ourselves drained. And it's just not coming. And trust me, God sees it. He really does. But it's a matter of you actually being ready to receive the blessing. And either way, you're blessed every day. We woke up this morning, You know, we woke up this morning, we're able to feel these things. We're able to actually understand these thoughts in our brains, let alone actually be able to step outside and enjoy the day, regardless of how the day is gonna pan out. We're able to actually experience that. And it's a weird thought, but when you really think about it, it makes sense. Even when a day's going bad, be thankful that you're able to even experience that bad day, if that makes sense. Because regardless of how bad the day is, at least you're alive, at least you're breathing, you know. And there's a lot of things, regardless, that we can be thankful for, and we choose to look over it all the time, because to us it seems so simple until it's gone, and it could be gone at any given moment. But yeah, I just wanted to update y'all. I am okay. Like I said, 3 times a week we'll do a cruising or vlog video, and it's kind of perfect because the new month's about to start. So because I also want to do like a beginning of the month video too. Like I want to do a once a month kind of thing where at the beginning of the month I do like a prayer and a thanks to God, and kind of pray over everybody, and we'll go over that and kind of, well, I'll explain that, you know, probably in another video, because it's kind of a lot to take in. And you know, like I said, I'm not sorry for it. I had to talk about today, like, you know, just the things that have been in my head recently and stuff like that. And I'm not sorry at all for bringing up God as much as I did. I really am not. Like I said, the real ones will stay. And that means this video was meant for them, because maybe they're looking to find the answer too. And like I said, really all you need to do is call on to God. Let him have it in his hands, because there's a lot of things in this world that we cannot control, that we try to. And in reality, like I said, it doesn't matter how hard you try to control it, it's going to work out the way it works out. And focus on the things you can control, like your attitude, your anger, your sadness. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but when you actually realize that it's not just easier said than done, you know, like I said, all you got to do is ask God. You put forth the effort to ask him, and you will receive. Okay, like that's a promise. But anyways, I love y'all so much. Thank you for listening to me. This is a long video. I think I'm not even gonna really do like cuts or anything. I think we're gonna start doing that, because that kind of helps with me just uploading it. You know, if there's any mistakes, then I kind of like look into it, whatever, but I don't think there will be. Whatever's said is said, and if I stutter, I stutter. That's okay. We'll sit in silence. No, but I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. Even if you only made it into like a minute of the video, I appreciate you regardless. Yeah. Until next time, which will hopefully be the start of next month, I will see y'all later.